Okay, guys, today we're going to do a special episode.
Did you brush your hair today?
No, I actually showered at the gym yesterday and I didn't have conditioner and I used whatever Dial soap they had on the wall.
Ew.
So it puffed my hair out.
Why don't you go home and use your shower?
Because I was sweating my ass off. I went in the sauna, so I used the gym shower so I could go right to Kate's afterwards.
Did you have like a towel?
Yeah, they give you towels.
Kate doesn't have conditioner?
Well, she does. I just didn't want to shower at her place because
Well,
I have to drive all the way
You
to
could have
Baltimore
taken a
City,
little conditioner
sweaty.
in your hand with some water and just like rubbed it in your hair and it would have made the difference.
Maybe I like it like this. Okay.
Okay.
You said you have a bad hair day.
Yeah.
You look like a R&B hip hop dancer for Britney Spears. Britney Spears backup dancer.
Look, this is all Buff Bunny, okay?
Shout out to Buff Bunny.
That's right.
Code Jen.
Oh, you have a code?
Yeah.
Code Jen.
Do you see my stories?
I do. I know you promote Buff Bunny, but I didn't know you
Do you
have a
think
code.
I put Code Jen on there for like no reason?
I don't order Buff Bunny.
You don't read everything.
Why would I need to order Buff Bunny?
You don't look at my stories.
I do look at your stories.
If
I
you
just didn't
did,
know
you
have
would
a
know
code.
it says Code Jen.
Well, I didn't see Code Jen. I'm sorry.
You gotta tell them.
Who here has used Code Jen? Raise your hand.
Claudia has, definitely.
Well, she's your supportive
She
child.
buys it. I think that's literally the only thing people that buy mine is hers.
She's the only one that uses
Might
your
be.
code.
I buy
Possibly.
it and then I give it to
I was just
Mom.
going to say she buys it and then gives it to me if she doesn't like it or wear it for
Well,
herself.
there you go. You get free clothes out of it at least.
Yeah, and a little bit of a commission.
Then a little bit of a commission. There you go. That's your money for tonight's dinner.
Oh, and Dakota buys them too.
Oh, she does?
Sometimes. Yeah, the t-shirts.
That's good.
She loves the t-shirts.
That's good.
The clothes are awesome though.
Yeah. Well, we're going to read your guys' questions. We have a whole bunch of them from this voicemail, this Google voicemail thing. We have a phone number where you guys call in and leave a question for us. So there's some ones on here that are quite bad that we can't play, that we played before the podcast started. I'm going to skip over those. Apparently, the girls think they're fake. We're going to start with this one because it's kind of long. Okay. I'll just play through this one. Are you guys ready? Mm-hmm. I haven't even read it. We're just going to wing it.
Hey guys, I am going to be going to University of San Francisco soon, and I am going to be starting a new life, and I just have advice mainly directed towards Brandon and Kennedy because I know that they are very goal-oriented people, and I just want to know how to navigate being a new adult because I just turned 18 a few months ago in January. And I'm just wondering, like I said, how to navigate new adult life and to continue setting goals because I do value school, even though at the same time, I mean, I don't think anybody likes school. But, just keeping that mindset. And also, obviously, I do want to mention, I love you, Kennedy. I've been watching you since your black hair era, and it has been truly wonderful to see the growth that you have experienced in your life because I feel like that's just so beautiful to see. And also, Claudia, I love you. And just all of you guys, really appreciate you and this new podcast that you guys have been doing. All of you guys are so intellectually, incredible and just a gift, honestly. Your words, even if you don't talk about anything, it's just beautiful. Anyways, love you guys. That's my advice about college. And yeah, bye.
So it wasn't really a question. It was more advice to them.
No,
There was a question in there
she was
somewhere.
asking.
She's asking about goals and stuff.
Well, that was very sweet, and thank you. I would say Claudia's the better, more goal-oriented person.
Yeah.
I have zero goals on the horizon right now. My goal is to make it through the day.
Yeah, I think she mainly follows you.
Yeah.
And that's probably why she identifies with you the most. Mm-hmm. She's very well-spoken.
Yes.
She didn't say once.
And did not sound 18.
She's 18.
Like she's about to go to college.
Oh,
That
she
doesn't
just
mean
turned 18?
Oh, she just turned 18.
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
So I would say, what did she say what her name was?
I don't think she did.
Yeah, I don't think she did.
Well,
What was
congratulations
her
on
primary
college.
question here?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It was more about I heard more.
I just want to know how to navigate being a new adult because I just turned 18 a few months ago in January. And I'm wondering, like I said, how to navigate new adult life and continue setting goals because I do value school at the same time. See, this is...
I would say, well, it's hard for me because I didn't go to college, so I didn't get that experience of leaving home and being in a new place and being around a bunch of new people my age. So on that front, I'm not really sure, what to expect for you, but it sounds like you have a pretty good head on your shoulders and already have things figured out just based off the way that you speak. And I think the ages from 18 to 25, you change so much. People in your life come and go, and you really, really, really get to know yourself and who you are and what you like and what you don't like and what you can tolerate and what you won't tolerate. And I would just say this is my thing though. A lot of people are a big picture type of people. I'm the type of person that takes things day by day. I try not to think too much about the future or the past or freak myself out. I try very hard to remain present and just focus on what's going on today. How can I get through today?
Yeah, regarding school, I wouldn't not let yourself get too devoured by it because some people hyperfixate on school when they go and they end up ruining a lot of experiences that they could have had otherwise. When I was in school, initially I thought like, oh, because I'm in school, the only thing I can really focus on is school and nothing else matters. But that's not true. Like there's so many other experiences that you could get at the same time. Yeah, there's so many other experiences that you could get at the same time. And while school is important depending on what you're going for, you don't want to limit your experiences by just fixating too much on what the outcome is going to be because you're going to end up graduating and then look back and being like, wow, I probably worried a little bit too much about this when I could have used a lot of my time to focus on growing myself in other aspects.
Well, it also depends on your degree. Because I think of it differently because like if you want to graduate and you want to be a nurse, for example, or something that has like a very specific end goal, like a doctor, a nurse, a vet, a lawyer, one of those things, like you really do have to be willing to dedicate your life during those years to school and doing well. And obviously don't let it eat you up. Like when I was in nursing school, I will say I did as much as I had to, but I didn't go above and beyond because I still needed to have like time to myself.
She got through it.
I still needed to go to the gym. I still went out and partied a little bit towards the end. But yeah, like exactly. I got through it. I graduated. I got the grades I needed to get. Obviously I wasn't a freaking A+ student, but like I still made it through. And I met the end goal. I passed my exam and I got the license that I needed to basically. But
I feel like that's how life is all the time. You should just like apply that concept.
Here's another question you really need to ask yourself though. Like if you're going to go be a nurse, doctor, a lawyer, whatever, all the things that require a whole bunch of education, like do you genuinely want to do that thing?
Well, you'll
like,
figure it out.
Well, you don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the bad thing. Like, okay, let's say that you don't actually want to be a doctor and your you're from a lineage of doctors. So they're like, you got to be a doctor, go be a doctor. And you're like, shit, I guess I have to do this. You spend however many years, like 8 years trying to become a doctor, taking all the tests, getting $500,000 in loans or something. And then let's say you start the practice and you realize when you're like 45 or 50, you're like, why the did I do this? I do not want to do this at all. And now I have to start from square one again when you could have just had that kind of introspection earlier on when you were younger.
Some people don't know that.
Yeah, everything plays out the way it's supposed to.
Just sit down for a second and like just think and imagine yourself in that role.
Some people can't do that.
You can.
No, they can't.
Imagine yourself.
Brandon, you literally can't. I went through this.
Imagine yourself as a doctor and like.
Yes, Brandon.
You change every year. Who you are at 18 is going to be very different from 19, from 20, from 21, from 22. You change so much.
That person might want to be a doctor.
I agree, but there's core parts of you that are always the same. Like the qualities that I had when I was a kid have not changed. The core qualities that I had when I was younger have not changed. My outlook on life has changed.
Well, I can tell you right now that if there's an 18-year-old that is being forced to be a doctor and that's what they think they want, they're terrified to tell their parents. anything. So they're going to follow along until they get strong enough within themselves to be able to think for themselves and actually speak for themselves. But what if that
happens when they're 45 or 50 years old?
When
they have a bunch of kids and they have a
that's how your life is supposed to go then. Like that's like the path you're supposed to take. And
everything just stay until they retire.
Because look, I went to school. I spent all that time doing what I was doing, given I didn't have any loans to pay off because community college. So in my opinion, that's my best advice is go to community college. And obviously I'm not still doing it, but it's not because I didn't like it or it's not who I want to be or anything. Like I still think about it and I'm like, oh yeah, I still do like that. It didn't change who I was like as at the core, I guess, like you're saying.
She has 2 really close friends that are a big part of her life that she met through nursing school.
Yeah. And I mean, I get to hear about it through them too, but it's not that I didn't like it or like regret it. Like I'm so happy that I went through with it and I actually did it because for one, it taught me that I can do really hard things. For 2, I'm just so proud of it because it's not an easy thing to get, but
and it's useful stuff that you learn.
Yeah, but like at the same time, it's like it's not what I'm doing, but I'm happy that I had that option, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think that
sometimes you don't know that you don't want something until you have it. People are just like that.
And that's part of life. It's kind of like what goes back to what Kennedy said. You just live in the moment and
do you regret your degree?
Today.
No, I don't, because I think I'm actually using it in some ways. But what I'm really trying to say is that if you don't let like external forces dictate what you end up doing when you go into school, because you're going to regret it. So if deep down inside you know that you want to be doing something and you're doing something else purely because you want to be seen as better to the people around you, and you think by doing that thing or getting that major, you're going to be seen as a better person to those people.
Well, there's also parents that are like, if you don't go to college, you're not getting one more penny from me, and they have to live on their own, and they don't want to live on their own.
I'm not saying don't go to college. I'm saying have an open...
whatever it was.
I'm saying if you're going to college, have an open mind, or have it at least in the back of your head. If there is something that you're truly passionate about, which I think for each person there is something, do not bury it deep down because you're doing something that somebody else wants you to do. That doesn't mean don't do it. That doesn't mean don't take on the challenge, because that could be a good thing to do. Like one of my motivating factors for going to school was because we didn't have anyone in our immediate family who got a college degree. So that made me want to go.
But you also had, parents that weren't like breathing down your neck saying like, we want you to do this and we want you to do that. And if you don't do this, you're not getting anything.
But in school, especially in like public high school, it's expected that you're going to apply it to colleges. And when every single kid around you is doing it and every single teacher is saying, you got to do one of these, 10 main jobs. In your mind, you don't know anything else. You think
I was proud to be different and say I wasn't going.
It's ingrained in your head that is the path that you have to take. And what I'm saying is that, yes, that's the societal path that's set up, but there's so many other avenues. And if you're like deeply passionate about something, again, I think everyone is, you need to sit down and really like explore what that could actually mean and what that could evolve into in your life. Because you don't want to suppress yourself. And like I'm saying, you're older and you hate everything because you never actually did what you wanted to do.
That's just part of a journey.
Everyone listening to this is younger. Now's the time to really think about those things.
I think that the moral of all of this is just self-reflect and don't run away from yourself. Don't try to hide from yourself. Just get to know yourself. Learn what you actually like, what makes you happy, what drives you, what you're passionate about. Because if you're going to live a life doing a job that has zero passion, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what you want to do and what your passion is, there is something there. You have to sit down and really think and really discover it. And that could take years. That could take decades. But you want to start working on it now.
God, it took me forever. Honestly.
I got mine from Grey's Anatomy. Whatever your favorite show is, follow that. Unless it's like Breaking Bad.
Yeah, you start cooking that.
Hey, you could become a chemist.
I mean, yeah.
Or a pharmacist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone watches Breaking Bad and then wants to become a pharmacist though.
Are they legalizing drugs? The meth will just be legal soon.
No.
Where did you hear that?
No, there's certain cities where drugs are completely legalized entirely.
Well, you know why? It's probably because they want people to stop getting it with fentanyl in it.
Well, those cities are really
Is fentanyl
crazy.
cheap? Is that why it's laced in everything?
I don't know.
No, it's not cheap. It's just super strong at a really tiny dosage.
Yeah, but if you take too much, it's
Deadly.
Everything's deadly if you take too much.
Not everything.
Yeah,
I've
but
technically
fentanyl is like
taken it
really easy to
before.
take too much. They
Remember
do
at
give
the airport, they gave it to me.
they do give fentanyl in the
that's-
hospital,
That's
but
through a syringe and monitored. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I remember hearing that and being like, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Highly addictive too.
Next question.
Hi, I'm a big fan of you guys. Wanted to ask, like, what kind of shows and movies you've been watching lately? Bye. This is Angela.
Did she say her name's Angela?
Yeah.
We're all into The Boys right now, except for Claudia, trying to get her
Yeah,
to
I
watch
really
it.
love The Boys. I haven't
She
been
should
watching
watch
much.
it.
I just started Arrested Development, and I've really been liking that.
Jesse and I have
You
been
like-
watching. What is that show called again? Do you know, Mom?
No, what show?
You're watching a show and you don't know what it's
Love
called.
Island?
No. It's about this hit and run that happens. This boy does a hit and run.
Oh, Your Honor?
Yeah, Your Honor. We've been watching Your Honor,
Yeah.
and it's good, but it definitely does give me anxiety because it's like the kid just keeps making bad decisions, and I'm like, why wouldn't you just? I don't know. It's just like basically he just is making one massive, horrible.
I'm just loving.
Mistake.
Kennedy told me to watch Love Island season 11 UK from the UK, and she didn't even finish watching the whole thing. But I'm watching it, and I'm just like,
I cannot watch.
I'm like, it's like
a certain amount.
65 episodes.
I watched like
That's
11,
insane.
and then I was like,
11.
okay,
It's getting so good. So I'm
Oh,
hooked on it.
there's 65.
because it's 2 months.
How long are
They
they?
just film
Because-
every single day.
It's an
but
episode a day.
They have it. Yeah, they have an episode a day, but then they also have After Sun and Unseen Bits.
I don't watch that.
Me either.
Yeah, but I told Mom there's this part on the Unseen Bits where one of the girls, her name's Harriet, and she was like, I just thought she
Yeah.
was hilarious just because of how she acts. But she's like very dramatic.
She's dramatic.
And the girls
way
are
she
like
cries.
sitting on 2 of the day beds and they're just like hanging out. And one of them goes, oh my God, who's just farted? And she goes, that was me. And they're like, oh my God. And they start laughing. She's like, I feel sick.
Wait, which one was that?
It's like the unseen extra footage.
Yeah, the extra.
Because they have
footage that's
cameras
out
on
there.
them 24/7.
Yeah.
I would have never seen that because I passed those.
Wait, so I heard they have one bathroom for all of them.
They have a guy's and a girl's bathroom.
How does that?
It's like summer camp.
I don't get that.
What do you mean?
What if you're having a bad?
I think they
stomach
probably
day,
have like
you
an
shitting
extra
yourself?
bathroom that like
I'm sure they
doesn't
have to.
obviously doesn't have cameras that you can go and like take your time in. They don't
that's the
show
only way
anything
they can
like
get
that.
away.
The toilets are
It's
never
the
shown.
bathrooms.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. So it's like Big Brother, basically. Have you seen Big Brother? It's the same concept, just
Yeah.
not about love. It's more about
Same concept, except they're all
competition.
just attractive and horny.
Yeah.
Like the way that they form attachments like that, I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
It's been 2 days.
No, in 30 seconds. They're like, and then after a day of being coupled up, so the guy wants, it's the same thing every time.
And
The
they
girl
start
walks in,
crying
the guy
and-
wants another one, and the girl's like,
You know what else I'm
"He made me
watching?
look like a mug.
The other one, it's drama. It's really good though. It's very entertaining. The other one is The Bachelorette. You didn't want to see that because this girl Jen, her voice is like kind of whatever. You kind of got to get over that because she can be annoying sounding, but
Yeah.
it's so funny because these guys are such drama. And I watched one of the episodes. They're getting ready to go to the hometowns, and this one dude on there was like such an asshole, like so stupid. He kept going, "You're selfless," and they're all going, "How is she selfless?" And he was just like, he couldn't answer the question, and then he must have got nervous or something. And his name was Sam, and she sat him down to talk to him. She's looking at him, and he's going, and started talking, and I was like, what's he doing?
Oh, God.
And then she's I've been wanting to say this. I love you.
Oh God.
And she was like, what? Like, where did that even come from just now? And the whole scene made me feel so uncomfortable watching it
Ew, I can't watch that.
that I was just like,
Literally, I watched the
dying.
first episode where they all introduced themselves, and I told Jesse, I was like, I can't keep watching this. Like, all these guys are like grossing me out, irritating me already. Like, so many of them seem like they have something deeply wrong with them.
They do. But I mean, I think she does too. I think they all do it to go on that.
They're doing I saw a preview for the Golden Bachelor. They're making another
saw that
one.
too.
Oh yeah,
The guys look so good.
Oh, my friend
They do.
knows. My friend knows her. She used to own his house.
I didn't see the girl. I just saw the guys.
The woman that's doing it. It's a woman.
Oh.
The
It's
woman that
Golden
they have on there
Bachelorette. Or
Yeah, it's
Bach-
a
used to
Bachelorette.
own
Yeah.
his house.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Damn.
Yes.
How old is she? Like 60?
Yeah.
Yeah, they looked all super good. I was like, holy shit, where do they find these people who are
60
willing to do
something.
this?
Yeah.
Does golden mean old?
Yeah, it's the older.
I mean, I think
they all
old-
look like they had like money too. They're all like well dressed and just
They're
like
probably just bored and they just
British.
want attention.
No, this one's American. The woman's American.
Yeah,
Anybody who goes on these things,
the guys. Some of the guys.
Anybody
were,
who goes
like, British
on-
accents.
any reality dating show, I think they're bored, want attention. Some of them obviously do want romance, but I just like that is the last place I would ever look for it.
Especially when they say looking for love. It's like,
I don't know.
oh
If
my
I was
God.
like single and like older like that, and I was just like, it's hard to meet people nowadays. I will need some excitement in my life. I'd probably do something like that.
Yeah.
Why
Or
not?
you'll just get heartbroken. Competing against a bunch of other.
I just want to want a camera in my face, like
I'd become like
constantly all the
drama.
time.
I'd be so
On
self-conscious.
purpose.
It's like when Brandon used
Yeah,
to
but The
film us.
Bachelor is not as
Yeah, and I
bad as Love Island.
Brandon, they would try to film me on the show, and I'd be like, turn the camera up, get it out of my face, and they'd be like, no,
It'd be like
I was
violent.
gonna ask you that. Like, would you guys be
no.
on
It
those
would.
shows?
I already know it would bring
Love
out.
Island, it's not humans. It's literally just cameras like all around the ceiling, all around like
Moving
hidden
around.
in places. Yeah, and they can
Yeah, literally,
control
it's
them.
like it like moves.
So they like forget that they're even there.
I'm
But like,
saying no because I know it would just bring out the absolute worst side of me, and I don't want anyone to see that.
I just like watching them.
I
and
just
what they
want to know
wear.
if for Love Island if they have that
And their
footage
clothes.
like under like hardcore lock and key, because they definitely get footage of like people doing things that they wouldn't want seen anywhere.
And having
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but-
there was one part on the last season, they go and like this one couple goes in the like hideaway room
Yeah.
or whatever they called it, and she said the next day but there was cameras all around that
Yeah.
room.
Yeah, no, they get them like
I don't
under
think
the
they
covers
care.
and stuff.
They probably
at night.
just
You can
go
see
under
it.
the covers.
And they'll put it,
Still.
sometimes they'll put that on, sometimes they won't.
Maybe
but
they like turn them off at a certain point and they're like, all right, they're off.
I don't think they do.
I think they're on all
Just
night
think
long.
like the psychological aspect of Love Island just fascinates me so much. They're literally like, how can we manipulate these people,
Yeah.
this group of people, to the highest degree?
I know. Well, that's why they have therapy on site.
Well, how,
Like
how
the
would you
therapist is
feel?
probably manipulative.
How would you feel being part of like a human experiment like that?
no,
I would hate
thanks.
it.
Like, that's crazy. That's some like
I'd
crazy.
I'd be behind the camera and watch that, not be in front.
I'm just not somebody like, I don't know. I'm not. I feel like you have to be extremely extroverted to be on a show like that.
Oh yeah, they make them do dances in the cutscenes and stuff. I'm like,
Oh my God, yeah.
I always
can't.
think like during those B-roll like cutscenes that they have in between like the show and it's transitioning and they're like doing like a dance and they're like, I'm ready, like right after they were like crying or something.
Right.
How do they do that? Did they put them in a room or like, okay, can you like do a
They have
little dance?
Didn't you say they have therapists on like on the locations?
Yeah,
like,
they
to
have.
help them.
They have.
Oh,
They
you
call it
did.
psych, and they
Yeah.
like because Leah said in an interview, she was like, "Yeah, there was one day I got called into psych like 3 times."
Well, are they like kind of actors in a way, or are they just
I think
super
so.
extroverted?
No, they're
No.
just they just get comfortable where they are.
Well, they become
They obviously
actors.
pick people that are more
Outgoing,
extroverted
yeah.
and like they go through
Well, because
a
it
whole
cuts to
interview.
the interviews, and the interviews are always just like, I can't believe they would do that to me.
Well, obviously you
That's
should
how
know of
reality
all
So you can
TV
tell
people.
has
they're
been.
they're like, repeat it again. Like, remember when I used to do the interviews with you
Yes.
guys?
Yes.
So it's like they just keep making them repeat the same
and
thing.
we hated it because we're not the type
and then
of people
it just
that do
it starts sounding fake when you do it like the 8th time.
Yeah,
It doesn't sound
exactly.
right. Like if you watch Big Brother, the interviews are like they're so cringy.
because they're obviously telling them what to say in those.
Because they go from acting
He's
like
acting
real.
like he doesn't know this.
I know.
No, I know, but at least train them to be like, okay, say it as you would like speaking to a human, not like you're speaking to like a
They
robot.
probably-
No, I think
try.
on Love Island this last season, I think they were talking like they would to
Maybe because
anyone.
I watch Big Brother. Like if you watch Big Brother, you'll see what I mean. They go from being like serious, real people, and then it cuts to an interview, and they seem like they're acting.
Older
I
shows
think-
are like that. Have you ever seen Next?
Do they want it to be cheesy?
I think the way
Next
they
was
do
terrible.
Well,
Okay.
It's a whole other.
yeah, Next was
I think the way they do Love Island is they sit them there and just let it roll and keep letting them talk about it, and then they use the best parts. That's the most natural way to do it.
Yeah, I've only watched like one episode of them, so
Oh, wow, you're missing out.
I'm not missing out.
You're really not.
Hey guys, this is Claire. I just wanted a little advice. It may sound kind of weird, but how do you guys deal with hating someone? Just someone that you abhor, you hate them, and you don't know what to do. I mean, do you kind of just completely ghost them, or do you talk to them about it? Have you ever had this experience before where you just completely hate a person? I mean, what do you guys do?
Sounds like she just broke up with someone.
I think
Damn, she used the word abhor.
Yeah, it's like hate times 10.
I feel like if you really don't like them, I just literally wouldn't speak to them or ever have them in my life.
I'm always of the mindset that if someone is adding stress to your life, they're adding anything positive to your life, you can completely cut them off. You don't owe them anything unless it's like you're in a relationship with them, but still you break up with them and then you're done.
Yeah.
Everything is up to you. You're not a bad person if you cut someone out of your life for good reasons. And it's that simple. And judging by what you're saying, you really don't like this person.
Yeah.
So you need to get them out of your life.
I agree with you guys.
I would definitely not talk
No
to
other option.
Anyone that I dislike, I just don't speak to.
Well, I think the quality of your life is directly associated with the people that you're around on a daily basis. So if you don't like somebody, our mom always told us never say hate. She didn't like that word.
I don't really hate
if
anybody,
you really
but
don't like somebody or their presence makes you kind of feel uneasy, then
They're not meant to be in your life.
Yeah,
and,
just be around other people.
And if you feel bad about cutting them out, you're doing them a favor by cutting them out of your life because you don't like this person. You're not bringing good energy into their life. They're not bringing good energy into your life. It's mutually, what's the word? What's opposite of beneficial?
Destructive.
Yeah, mutually destructive. So I would say
if they're that bad, then
bye-bye.
Wish them well and be glad you're not them because they're in a lot of pain. Seriously.
Next.
Well, that was the first one we're like all in agreement on.
So this question is a little more aimed at Claudia, but how do you get through nursing school or just studying to be a nurse in general? Because I'm currently a pre-med student and it's just really difficult sometimes to get through the work. And I'm just wondering, what did you tell yourself or what did you do to get through nursing school and eventually become a nurse?
Well, she cried a lot.
Cried a lot. It's kind of just that you have to like find a little group of friends that you really truly like being around, because you need someone that you can really just spend like basically every day studying with, every day doing your work with. If you don't have that and it was just me, like I definitely would have really struggled, but they held me accountable a lot. Like we all did it for each other, because I'd be like, all right, well, they're doing it. They're going to show up and study today, so I need to do it too. And then also we would just like help each other out with like finding different practice questions to do, or I don't know, like testing each other on different things, or just like literally having like the company of them, because we all were going through the same horrible experience. And you really need that. Like no one in your life besides the people that you're also going through it with really understands like what you're going through. And it was hell. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it really was. There was definitely times where I was like, how am I gonna make it out of here? But I did. You just have to keep taking it one day at a time. Like focused on what the next big thing is that you have to do, is whatever the next exam is that you have to get through, and get through that and worry about what's next after that.
Yeah, I think what you said, like finding friends who you can do it with, is really good, because Kate always tells me this, like she has like her nursing friends and stuff where she can kind of like, when something's going really wrong, she has people to like talk to who understand what she's actually been through, because she can tell me things, but like I don't get it because I've never actually experienced it firsthand.
No, I'd be talking to like, I'd come home and be like trying to talk to like whoever about it. I don't even remember, but it's like no one can, they'll be just be like, oh, you'll be okay, you'll get it done. I'm like, you don't get the pain I'm in right now. But like those friends I still have, they're like two of my best friends that I would literally do anything for, and it's all because we like went through that together. They have like a special place in my heart, and they always will. And we literally still talk to each other almost every single day. So
well, that's really interesting when you go through something really hard with people, like when people go like when they're in,
trauma
like,
bonding
through war or something, then they're always super close to the people that they were with. It's like a camaraderie.
Yeah, literally. Because like now it's like, it's funny because we are literally three different people from different places of life. Like we've all had completely different life experiences. We didn't grow up in the same ways, but yet because we went through that, like we all just like can hang out with each other and talk about all the most random things. And it's funny because it's like I never would have ended up crossing paths with them if it wasn't for nursing school.
Yeah, because you committed to doing something difficult.
That's why I say, like, I don't try to think too much in the future, because you never know what good can come out of something that you're going through right now. It's just so hard to, like, I don't know. I feel like so much can change as life goes on that you can't predict and you can't control. And for me, something that works is just trying to release that control and just focusing on today.
Mm-hmm. And also, I did go to the gym a lot. I spent like 2 hours at the gym every single night because it was like my getaway from school. So having something like that.
I would think like taking breaks here and there and like just resting like your mind and making sure you obviously eat and drink, like you said, exercise.
Oh, I would eat I mean, I did not eat healthy, but I would eat a ton of snacks. I lived off like vending machine food in nursing school.
You didn't drink energy drinks, did you?
Not really, no. I think I would have coffee here and there, but like, and I would always bring my water. I'd bring like lunch. I'd eat lunch, whatever. But during classes, if you're allowed to have snacks, it's so helpful to be like eating while like doing the work, because it's almost like kind of rewarding, but also it keeps your mind like focused, because you're just like, I don't know, it's like watching TV and eating a snack, but except you're listening to like a boring PowerPoint and eating a snack.
Oh my God, I would fall asleep.
I want to do a lot of times. Or I would just like days off and go online shopping on my computer, because we had our computers.
When I graduated high school, barely, I was like, you cannot pay me to go back to doing any amount of schoolwork.
Same.
No, once I dedicated my like mind to it, I was like, I'm
Really
doing
got
it.
through high school.
I hate it. I hate schoolwork.
And I will say, as much as I like don't miss nursing school, the only parts I miss of it are like getting to spend every single day with my nursing friends and like all having this one common horrible thing.
Is everybody else that went there with you doing nursing? Or are you the only one that didn't?
There might be some other people, but I'm not people that I talk to. Both of my friends are nurses now. But
Well, at least you know who to go to. Are you going to one of them when you get pregnant or something?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, if she's still working labor and delivery.
Oh, she's gonna help birth you?
Help birth me? You mean birth my child?
That will bring you guys really close together.
She delivered our other friend's baby. So yeah, I hope she would help deliver mine too.
Wait, delivered baby?
No, delivered baby.
Yes.
Labor and
I
delivery.
thought she's doing pediatrics now, though.
Well, she is, but I think she's not completely like giving up labor and delivery.
Yeah, that would be so amazing.
Are you guys ready for the next one?
Ready?
This one's 2 minutes and 30 seconds, by the way. It's like a story, but we'll see.
Hi. I just called and I gave way too much detail and it was way too long, so I'm going to shorten it. But basically, I need advice. I live in California and I was studying abroad for a month, and towards the end of my abroad trip, I met someone, and he is Italian, but he lives in Barcelona for school. And yeah, we met each other towards the end of like my 1 month trip, and I decided to extend my trip a few days to stay with him and spend more time. And I'm currently in his apartment right now, but I have to leave tomorrow, and I don't know what to do because yeah, we click so well, we get along so well, and we also talked about just like our stances on long distance, not like we were planning on doing that or anything. We've only known each other for a bit, but just like if we think long distance works, and he believes it doesn't because his last relationship was, they tried to do long distance and it didn't work. And yeah, just living in a different country than someone is just hard anyway. So what do you guys think I should do? Like, I really, really, really like him, and we've only spent a short amount of time together, but I want it to work in the future. And honestly, I would love to live in Europe, but I don't want to seem crazy and, you know, move to another country for someone. So I don't know. I'm still in college. He's still in college. And I just don't really know where to go from here because I'm super sad that I have to leave. And I just feel like it's not going to be the same once I leave. Yeah, he's a very realistic person, and I don't know if he would try to make it work with someone, even though we both really like each other, but I don't think he would try to make it work with someone that lives in a different country. So
what would you guys do if you were in this situation? Have you ever been in a similar situation before? And yeah, I just don't really know where to go from here because I feel like I'm not going to find someone that I like as much as this because I never have before. But I'm pretty young. I'm 19. He's 22. So I know I have a lot of time. But yeah, let me know. And also, I love you guys. I love the podcast. And yeah, thank you.
First off, before you answer, this is crazy. This sounds like some sort of like fan fiction or something.
Girl,
Okay.
go back to America.
Listen, let me go first. First of all, I have so many things to touch
We're
on.
probably going to just agree with you.
Let me just start on the first thing. When Jesse and I met, he lived in LA and I lived in Maryland. So obviously he lived all the way across the United States from me. And we both really liked each other. And regardless of if I thought long distance would work, that wasn't even an option in the air because we liked each other that much that we were both willing to travel back and forth to make it work. If he's telling you that long distance isn't going to work, he's not willing to do the long distance. That's the biggest problem. It's not that he doesn't think he can make it work because if he wanted to, he would. He
He's
just
probably
simply
done this
doesn't care that
before.
much. Yeah. He's done it before. And unless you're going to make it easy for him and be there in his like beck and call, basically, like he doesn't care that much. I'm sorry to say, like, I know it probably feels like the greatest thing in the world in this moment, but you need to focus on yourself.
Yes.
Do not move to another country for
No.
someone, especially someone that you just recently met, because you have no idea. First of all, you don't need to be in a foreign country where you don't have your normal friends and family and who you're used to having around, and be in his living space, because if he starts treating you bad or decides he doesn't want you there anymore, then you're going to have to worry about this whole scenario of getting back and moving back, and it's just going to be way too much. And I just think that you should go back home, and if he continues to like reach out or you guys still keep in contact with one another and he seems like he's still into you just as much as he was when you were in she was Barcelona.
Yeah.
He's from Barcelona, but he's Italian. They're in Barcelona. You just need to go home. You really do.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he's Italian.
I know.
right
I just
there.
feel like I can imagine it feels like this storybook, like great thing. And it feels so right in the moment. But like,
I have a friend who studied abroad, and it was a very similar thing. Towards the end of her trip, met a guy. He was so charismatic, so charming. She'd never met a guy like this, never felt like this. And so for the last like 2 weeks of her trip, they hung out a lot, they got to know each other, and she didn't want to leave him, but she came home. But then it was like when she got home and she was back in her surroundings with people that she knew and her friends and her family, she was like kind of starting to, wake up a little bit. Not to say that like you're not aware of what's going on, but your environment and who you're around has the biggest impact on you. And I think, she could already be back in America by now, but
Yeah, she said she was leaving like the next day.
yeah.
You can look at this like a good memory and just keep it in your mind as a good memory.
He could be a friend, and when you go back and visit, you could see if you do end up moving there one day and magically he's, still available and still interested and you guys rekindle something. But do not ever let a man, let alone a man you've known for like a week, decide where you're going to move, what you're going to do with your life. Like, it might feel in this moment like magical and like you're in a movie and you've never liked someone like this and you don't want to lose it, but I promise you, you'll be fine and you will feel it again.
yeah.
Well, from a guy's
agree.
perspective, guys just do this. This is an archetypical pattern that guys actually have, where if you're with somebody and let's say it's a new relationship and let's say it is long distance, you want to kind of keep them around for convenience. But if like deep down inside you don't see anything actually going anywhere, then guys will string the girl along and be like,
They literally do that on
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
Island.
like maybe
Exactly.
I'll move one day or not. But if the
Right.
guy's not fully committed, then he actually doesn't want to. So
Yeah.
he's stringing you along because it's
Yeah,
convenient to
until
be in that
something better
relationship.
comes along.
Women everywhere
that's-
just need to
it's just the way it is.
believe what men are giving you, believe the actions, not the words.
And here's another thing, another like way of looking at it. You really know what is going on. It sounds like from, what you explained to us, I think I think if you're honest with yourself, you're going to be able to tell yourself, okay, this is what I do. And that is your decision that you base it on. And then like Kennedy said, when you go home to your family, you'll have even more support. But yeah, it might feel a little weird. You might feel a little sad and you might miss that whole fantasy of it. But that's what it is. It's like that fantasy, and you are young, and I don't want to like make that the reason, but your life is going to change so much, and your perspective is going to change so much.
You will look back and think about it differently.
No, definitely don't. Focus on school. You're going to school right now. You're only 19. You have so much ahead of you. You don't even like between 19 to like 26, so much changes in your life.
The fact that he's not even interested in long distance, like
That's
whatsoever.
wild. It doesn't matter if what he experienced before it didn't work.
No.
He doesn't want to do it, period.
He does, yeah.
And long distance sucks,
telling
honestly,
you what he
especially
wants.
at that age.
I mean,
a
that's
hard
really
thing to
long
do.
distance, but like from my perspective with Jesse living in LA, it was like we slowly would do things like we would meet in Philly. He would be in Jersey at home with his parents, or like I would go there and visit him, or he would come here. And then eventually he got an Airbnb here and realized he liked being here and being around. And I obviously loved having him around. And then eventually, like, it took time, like over the process of like, I would say 6 months to a year that he actually lived here. And then it took 2.5 years until we actually lived together, basically.
Yeah, yours was just like a gradual,
2 years until we
constant
lived
climb,
together.
though.
Yes.
It was constant.
But we
there
were
was
both
no in
putting in
betweens.
just as much effort, showing as much interest. It wasn't like he was like, oh, I don't know if it'll work, but like, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't like that he's even saying that. Like that
Yeah.
fact that he's not even interested or open to doing long distance. Because like if you are so head over heels with someone, you just want to talk to them, even if it's through FaceTime.
You would never say, I would never have said to Jesse, like, oh, I don't think it's going to work because you live in that wasn't a option.
Girl, cut him off and
at
go
least
back
he's
to America.
honest.
Well, here's the thing. The more that he continues to drag you along, and then the more that you keep hanging around him and thinking that there's a false hope that something's going to happen, the worse it's going to
Yeah,
be
he
when
was
it
being
actually
honest.
all
He basically cut it
implodes.
off.
Yeah,
Like-
he's telling you exactly what he wants.
You just got to make the move.
It sucks because I really do know that feeling of feeling like, oh, like, what if maybe I should just, would it be crazy if I just did this? But like, yes, it would. It really would, because it's like you don't want to hear that because you want to be like, oh, it's my life. I'm old enough to do what I want and this and that. And I know that feeling. But like,
Yeah.
And
Like,
there are better
it never
things
ends
out
right.
there.
We've talked about this before, I think in like one or two of the podcasts before, but like how like you just like I don't know, you just like can't decide on things like at that moment, like you can't.
Yeah, but your gut is telling you, like, if you're questioning yourself,
That's
there's a
what I was
reason
gonna
why.
say, right? If you're questioning, you should
Yeah.
know 100% because that's what you're feeling, and that's because it's right. If it's not right, you will not feel 100%.
And it's okay to make mistakes and learn from them.
Also, that's what phones and texting are for. Call him when you get home.
He sounds like a bum.
He does sound not too
He
great.
just sounds like a little player.
Yeah, like he probably has done this before.
Oh yeah.
Especially because you're in, she's American, right?
She's studying abroad, yeah.
And you're an American girl and they have this fantasy of American girl coming, studying abroad, and right when you're about to leave, they get you. It happens. It's a
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Hi, my name is Callie. I love all of you guys, and Claudia, you're my favorite like TikToker and vlogger ever. Anyway, my question is there something that you guys believe that you just can't prove? Like something crazy that you know that it's real, or you know that it is, but you just can't prove it. You don't have any physical evidence of it. Anyway, thank you guys. Have a good day.
Yeah, aliens.
Love you.
That's such an
I knew you
interesting
were going to
question.
say aliens, and I was going to say like ghosts or like spirits, basically.
Yeah, that too.
So truly believe that there are people who just stay around, you know, like their spirit just lives here, wherever it is. And I will say, I do have physical evidence. Some people might try to tell me my physical evidence is not real, but that photo from Mom's house, there's no explaining it.
I know.
It's creepy, and
Yeah.
it just is way too clear for me. Basically, I have this photo that like a long time ago, my mom had a model over. She took a mirror selfie, and in the background of the mirror selfie in the hallway, which this was just like an empty hallway, you literally see like a freaking 7-foot figure that looks like he has a pilgrim hat on, just standing in the hallway behind her holding like a baby, and like there's other faces if you zoom into it. And I know some people be like, oh, that's not that, that's the, no, but I'm like, yeah.
I don't know. To this day, the cats just keep looking up in the attic. Like they just look up there. And I'm like, what are you doing? They're meowing to the attic. I'm like, oh man.
I feel like I've never actually seen anything myself, because I do think there's people that can see more than other people, but also I think it just depends on like who you are and like what you're experiencing and why you would, or where you live, or I don't know.
How about reincarnation?
I
There's
believe
one.
in past lives.
Yeah.
I believe that too, because I think people definitely have like old souls and like seem like they've been around way longer than you would
I can't
think.
prove that my neighbor was my grandfather.
Can you have reincarnation and ghosts at the same time?
What do you mean?
No.
Reincarnate.
No, they're different.
No, I think some people just don't cross over, like they stay, and then I think reincarnation is like that.
They would come back as like another person.
Yeah, which I think some souls can come back as that. I mean, who really knows all that?
about
That's
you,
too much
Brandon?
detail.
Well, I think what she's trying to describe is basically intuition. So you have people who are highly, if you look at it as a scale, you have people who are highly rational, who base everything off of like the current science that exists or things that they know that are factual, I guess. And then you have the other side where people, there's more intuition based. So like when people say, oh, I just have a feeling, that would be more intuition based. And then there's a spectrum where somebody falls somewhere between that. So I think what she's describing is basically when you get a feeling that something might be happening. And in my opinion, you might be onto something. You just interpret it maybe different than somebody else does. So it's like when one person experiences some sort of phenomenon and then another person experiences something similar, but describes it very differently. So some people, one person might say, oh, I saw a ghost. And maybe another person is like, I don't know, I just get like a feeling that like something's going on, but maybe they don't relate it to a ghost. Maybe they like articulate it as something else, but that would be an intuition, just a deep feeling that something is happening in the world that you can't necessarily describe, but it's just like it's just a deep, undescribable, like subconscious feeling that you're getting.
So what is yours?
Yeah.
With what I
you
have.
have
Brandon goes
anything?
into like dissecting everything. Just answer it.
Brandon believes
don't
in
thi-
aliens.
That's not really.
What's something you believe in that
do
can't
you believe
be?
in something that you can't prove?
Yes, not about your intuition.
Not something in particular.
Oh my God. Next question.
Dude,
I would have
if
to
you
go into
cut-
too much depth.
If you cut Brandon's skull open, it would literally be a computer inside.
Yeah, he's literally reminding me of Sheldon. You ever watch Sheldon?
I just think it's too simple to just be like, oh, there's ghosts, done.
Maybe you should have joined the debate team.
Because you heard 100 stories about ghosts.
Brandon, I think you're getting even nerdier
You're-
than you used to be.
You are.
You're going too deep, bro.
You're listening to
because
too many
it-
podcasts.
No,
He's
because
changing
it's
into
deeper
a
than that.
computer.
What podcasts have you been listening to?
A lot.
Exactly.
A lot of podcasts, a lot
the
of books.
simple question.
Brandon's-
is there something you believe in that you cannot prove? That is it. That's still
Okay,
the
give me a
question.
category. Let's narrow it down.
Oh my
You wanna do
gosh.
aliens? Okay.
Do you believe in aliens?
Don't give some long answer.
Just
Just,
say yes
tell
or no.
us.
Do you believe in aliens?
Do you think there's no? Do you think
Do
there's
I believe?
yes,
do
we
I
know that
believe in the
aliens-
stereotypical green big head like archetypical?
no?
That's not the
aliens.
question.
Do you think that there's other like?
think there's
What do you
other
mean by
life?
aliens?
Yeah.
No, seriously. What do you
Do
mean by
you
aliens?
think there's other
Describe.
life?
Describe
Other
what
than
you
Earth.
mean by an alien.
I am.
Is there something living somewhere
Extraterrestrial.
else?
Is it similar to us? Does it have a
Extraterrestrial.
body and a brain?
It doesn't
I don't
have
know.
to be.
You're thinking too
No,
small.
I'm not.
Do you
I'm
believe
not.
in an
Is there another
extraterrestrial
life
being?
form on another planet? Answer that question.
Yes.
Okay, next
So that's
But-
it.
All right, we're done.
Jeez.
But I don't think it's what people think where it's similar to
I don't
to
think
us.
anyone
I don't
knows.
think either. I don't think that either.
I don't think it would be very unlikely that we would actually be able to.
So what do you think it is, like a-
communicate with
like
them?
the giant
but then again,
spider with
I've
a
heard a lot of
brain?
arguments. I've heard a lot of arguments how there is nothing else that exists. So it's like
That is so small-minded, in my opinion.
That's just
Yeah,
scary.
I
I'm
to
just
think
saying,
about that
yeah,
we're
I
the
don't-
only
it's
life form.
small-minded to not consider that there might be nothing else.
What? Okay,
You don't think
Sheldon.
it's-
I'm renaming
If you don't know, that
Sheldon Brandon Aiden Walsh.
renaming you.
I was gonna say something. You me up, Mom.
Well, she's
Sorry,
talking about
Sheldon.
Sheldon.
She just keeps roasting me.
Well, good, because we don't need to hear
Because
whatever
you're
you're
literally
gonna
not giving answers. It's like you have to give these like long, like you can't just say the answer. It's like
You're thinking
long
too
things.
too big.
No, I don't think I'm thinking too big. I'm thinking that that you just perceive an alien as a certain thing in your head. Well, okay, when you think of alien, what's the first picture that comes in your head?
It used to be
Non-human thing.
Yeah, exactly. But it used to be grays, the big heads and the big eyes. Not that to me.
Like a Demogorgon.
I don't think of that. I think of it could be a little whatever. I think of anything.
A little whatever?
I think anything extraterrestrial that's
whatever
not
this
from
is.
Earth.
Okay, so
That's living and conscious.
okay, what if you can't see it, and what if you can't even comprehend it?
Okay, then it's still
So
there.
is it invisible?
That's the whole question, isn't it?
Well, what if you couldn't perceive it with the senses that you currently have? What if it's that abstracted from what
I
you
literally
actually...
hope that's
It's
the case.
still an alien.
Yeah, it's still an alien.
I think the
I
most
didn't say
terrifying.
it's something I can
So
see.
you're just saying an alien is anything that also has consciousness that exists somewhere outside the universe that isn't human,
that exists
I
outside
don't know
of
what
Earth.
you just said.
outside of Earth.
That
The
isn't
question is
human.
as simple as
So if there was a cat that existed on Mars that looked kind of like a
Alien.
cat, that would be
Alien.
alien.
the whole point of this is that you can't prove it. We're not saying it looks like something. You said yes to the answer. So what do you
didn't
think
even
it is?
answer the.
You're
can't
like,
ask.
you
can't ask a person like him this question.
Brandon,
you need to give the scope of it. That's
let me
what I'm
ask you a
saying.
question. Did you ever see the
Because what the alien?
Did you ever see the videos with the pilots that talk about that they've seen certain
Don't
things
start
come
with
down
him
and
on
start
this.
like
Yeah, can we please move on to the next
I've
question?
listened to many things about this.
Let's move on to the next
He's
question.
Dad's son. We don't need to start.
I've listened to nearly every person who's given a testimony on these things.
All we know is that there's a cat on Mars, and that's an alien.
There's a cat on Mars that is a Demogorgon cat on Mars. That's the alien.
Sounds
God only knows
scary.
it's out there. There could be weird little bugs that could be considered an alien.
Oh, okay. Well, wait,
you ever look close up at a praying
here's
mantis?
the
They
argument.
look
If
like
there
aliens.
are other aliens out there who are as intelligent as us or more intelligent, then why haven't they yet made contact with humans?
Because we're awful.
How do you
They
know
could
we're
be
awful?
so far.
They could be way more awful.
They could be so far away that they don't even know we exist.
Yeah, but what are the chances of a civilization that hasn't developed far beyond where we currently
They're probably
are?
scared of us because they think we're like
Well, that's an argument
complete
for
idiots.
why something else might not exist, because that's, if nothing else has made contact with
Brandon,
us,
we're not
and we're the
asking
smartest
for
ones.
proof. It was just something that you cannot prove, aka
Right.
aliens. We cannot prove. Some people might think
Right.
it's true. Some people might not.
simple
You
question.
can't prove it, but you can iron out the logic and
Period.
get pretty close to it.
Put a period at the end. That's it.
We'll do one more.
Hey y'all, my name's Deva. I'm a type 1 diabetic and I'm currently trying to start eating better and just start working out to improve my overall health. So I was wondering, what are some of y'all's favorite healthier meals that you make that keep you feeling more sustained throughout the day? I work nights as a nurse in a burn unit, and I'm trying to make meals to bring to work with me that won't leave me feeling hungry like an hour later. Anyways, I love you guys so much. I've been watching for years, and I can't wait for the Superhuman app to come out. I feel like it's going to help a lot of people. So I hope y'all are having a good day. Bye.
It definitely will help her. Can I just say one thing?
Real quick. With that said, this video is sponsored by Factor. My girlfriend Kate is a nurse, and she uses Factor meals because she doesn't have time to prep something or eat when she's having a really busy, active day at work. Factor meals make this easy because they come and they're freshly prepped, ready for you, and you stick it in the microwave, you heat it up, and it's ready to go. And they taste great, and they're healthy. Warmer, sunnier days are calling, guys. Right around the corner. Fuel up for them with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. Crush your wellness goals this month with dietitian approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. Make your day delicious from breakfast to dessert. Stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. Treat yourself to restaurant quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. Keep kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes, so no shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Head to factormeals.com/WalshWorld50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code WalshWorld50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. It actually is.
Is it?
Yes. This video is sponsored by Factor. So
Well, Factor's good.
good part for the good area for the integration.
That's really good.
For working on a burn unit, like literally you're an angel saint, because that's just one of those specialties that I feel like it really takes a special human being to be able to see people in that extremely painful, horrible state.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, we could say shepherd's pie because Kennedy made that last night. I feel like it's a really affordable thing to meal prep that you probably could keep in your fridge and eat for meals. And it's like potatoes, it has meat, it has vegetables.
I look up Alton Brown's shepherd's pie recipe. It's so easy to make, and you can make a ton of it at once and put it into Tupperware.
It's really good. Yeah, a meal like that I think would be great to have, especially to take with you. Just heat it up quick and it will keep you full. And then I think, which I'm sure a lot of people already know about these types of things, with things like RX bars and like Lara bars. I feel like things like that are good as a nurse to have with you because they're actual like whole foods that don't have a lot of crappy ingredients, but they give you energy and like help keep you full if you need like a
making
snack.
like your own protein shake or something like that you can keep in the fridge?
Smoothies
Yeah,
and
you
stuff.
could try that. I feel like it would kind of get, if it was sitting
are
for a
sugary,
while,
though.
I get
No,
gross.
but if you make your own and not add that, not get one that's already pre-made, like make your own thing so you have a whole mix of it.
I don't know that it's good to take with you, really, but I don't know, anything like easy that you can just bake in like meal prep and have things in the crock pot are always good too. Just simple things. Use Pinterest. That's what I did. Use Pinterest and find really simple, easy but healthy meals based on what you like.
So one thing is obviously the meal prep services if you can afford it.
A lot of them are super affordable now.
Well,
Yeah, a lot
sometimes
of
they
them-
go on sale though.
Yeah, and with having like a nurse's salary, you should be able to afford it, which is good because they are very convenient. But that you could supplement that, like you could order like 6 a week, for example, and then you could supplement that with other meals. For me, I know I'm a little more on the extreme, so I don't like expect people to do it this way, but I try to make things as simplistic as possible, but I try to also make as much food as I can because I know exactly what I'm eating and there's no like weird fillers or like substitutes or like weird creams or anything like that. So I just get an air fryer because they're super easy and it's a lot better than a microwave in my opinion. And I mainly just get simple stuff like chicken, ground beef, vegetables. Sometimes I make like a huge salad and just eat throughout the week. And then the carbs I eat are very simple. It's just like rice, potatoes, or sweet potatoes. And I kind of cycle through different variations of that. I eat eggs in the morning and turkey bacon and like whole wheat bread. And I keep it very, very, very simple and like predictable. And I just found things that I like and I just keep doing that. And then I kind of save my cheat meals for when we all go out like to dinner or something, or when I have sometimes I make Kate dinner at night and we'll drink some wine. But I try to save that for maybe like 1-2 nights a week. Mm-hmm. One type of diet that has worked really well for people from what I've heard is you basically try to eat as clean as you can throughout the week. And then on Sunday, you just use that as the day where you can kind of eat like whatever you want. And because you're a nurse, well, I guess you might work on some Sundays, but maybe take one day a week to kind of have it be like your fun day that you can have to look forward to. And then on the other days, kind of keep it a bit more predictable. So you're not like putting things in your body that are super random. Also I think people really get screwed here. Avoid the early morning, like super sugary coffee drinks, because I think they're just so like, it's just this cultural norm in our society to get like some coffee drink with a whole bunch of vanilla sweetener plus cold foam and this and that. And by the time you know it, you're drinking 1,000-calorie coffee.
Mm-hmm. And it just makes you feel crappy halfway through the day anyway.
All right,
Yeah.
I found one more good question.
Okay.
Hi, Walsh family. Another question is for Kennedy. I'm someone that has lupus and I also have eczema. And I know that Kennedy struggles with some similar, I guess like, I hate using the word diseases, but you know what I mean. So my question for her is, how do you not let that affect you? What are your coping mechanisms so that you can live as much of a normal life as your friends as possible? And did you ever find it hard to stay friends with people because like maybe you would have to cancel on plans because you're having a flare up? Did anyone ever make you feel bad for canceling on plans before you found your perfect friend group?
Wow, that's a good question.
I would say that anybody who gave me a hard time when I'm not feeling good and didn't want to go somewhere, which was a lot and still is a lot, if they are my true friend and they love me and they understand what I'm going through, they do not care. They don't hold it against me. They're not mad at me. And anyone who might have been in the past is not my friend anymore. You only need a few friends who genuinely love you and want you to be the best version of yourself. And that version is the healthy version. And of course, you know, it affects me all the time, every day. I've had psoriasis my whole life. And then I got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis at 15. And I'm still every day struggling with it. But having a good support system definitely really helps. I'm lucky to have my family, but also just knowing that you're not alone and you're not the only person going through it. Something that always really helped me was finding online support groups of people who go through very similar things. But yeah, if someone is ever giving you a hard time for that, they're not your friend. They don't understand and they're not trying to understand. But yeah. You have anything to add?
I mean, it was for you, but yeah, I just had to watch Kennedy struggle, and I would always give her the support and support exactly what she just said, because it was really some tough times. And to watch it as a mother, it's just tough. It's hard.
And nobody fully understands what you have went through, what you're going through, really, unless they've either been there or gone through it themselves. So you can't expect everyone to understand, but you can expect the people in your life who love and care about you to love and care about you enough to never make you feel bad for canceling plans. Always put yourself first and your health first, because that's also the only way to ever get better. Your mental health needs to be as good as possible. For me, anxiety and all of that makes everything worse in my body. So I have to keep myself surrounded by positive energy, people who bring positive energy into my life, who make me feel like I can be myself, who know what I'm going through and what I've gone through. And it's just, I do remember
the forums did help you, because you would come down and tell me stories about it, about how you found somebody's, story similar to yours. Mm-hmm. And it made you feel like you weren't the only person out there, because that's what sometimes it can make you feel like.
It's going through any sort of health, medical issue is a really, really, really isolating feeling. And you feel out of control of your body, and you feel like you're looking at other healthy people living their life, and you're thinking, well, why am I even here if I can't go and do that, just because I'm stuck and my body isn't letting me just live a normal life? But there is a way through it. The only way out of it is through. And there's also just so many different routes you can take these days, holistic routes, all kinds of different medicines and stuff. But my main advice, is just surround yourself with people who actually love you for you, and don't give a shit about what medical issues you have.
Solid. You guys had very good questions. I feel like the questions that we got are very solid questions.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.